Hello, and welcome once again to another episode of Third Action. I'm your lovely host, Jason, and these are the same three scallywags that we heard last week. I'm just thinking pirates, I don't know. In the bottom left, we have Regan, Belladonna, Academy Wizard, played by Char.
Oh, I can't ever get this camera to be right. Hold on.
Slight
There
adjustment. There you go.
Center, it's great.
In the bottom middle, hanging out at the village by the sea, is Tullios Couldarn, martial fighter, played by Will.
Yeah, relaxing, enjoying vacation. Lovely time. Nothing bad has happened, I'm sure, so.
And then in the bottom right, we have Felix Milos, Maestro Bard, played by Alex. Hello.
Yar.
Yar indeed. As our three... Actually, what is a scallywag? What is a scally and why is it wagging? Is it a dog? That sounds nice. I don't know. Anyway, etymology for another day. If you're watching this on YouTube, please leave a comment in the chat on what the etymology of this term is.
I googled it.
Oh, did you Google it?
It has a much less...
Behaves
pleasant.
badly, but in an amusingly mischievous rather than harmful way. A rascal.
Oh, like a rapscallion.
Yeah. But is also has apparently racist
Yes.
Ooh, of course.
It was very much
There
used by
is.
Southerners,
But only
a term for Southerners who were,
You'll love to see
loyal
it.
to the traditional values of white supremacy. So, I guess we're all scalawags here.
It's just like the ice cream song. Don't look up the ice cream
is
song.
this racist? A white Southerner who collaborated with Northern Republicans during Reconstruction, often for personal profit.
Well,
Term
Oh,
is
it's like
used-
the the
It's
song they
all-
play with the ice cream trucks. Yeah,
that
that one's
has-
pretty racist. Yeah.
Oh
gosh.
no! Shit!
look up the original names of that song and the
Oh,
lyrics. They're pretty bad.
No!
But anyway, completely unrelated. Hello, welcome. I'm back from my long absence, and I think it is time to resume. So, what am I pushing? I'm remembering how to do this. Last time on Third Action, our group of heroic citizens, I guess you had just cleaned out the Rolth's little hideout after resurrecting Tully in the final encounter there, and having satisfied your quest, returned the body parts of Silent Wolf to his grandfather, Thousand Bones, and thus calmed the tensions with the Shawanti people, for the time being, at least. Then, in the coming days, you heard about a little event that the Queen was going to be putting on in the city. You attended, and it turned out to be an execution! An execution of your friend! Ward, Trinia Sabor, the artist who has been accused of murdering the king by poison. You knew Trinia to be at the Script and Scrimshaw, Felix's bar, safe and sound. So who was this mysterious Trinia? Turns out it seems to be some kind of body double. Or someone merely dressed up to look like her. Before, thankfully, the execution could be carried out, one notorious Blackjack, the old hero of Corvosa, emerged and rescued her in the nick of time. And thanks to a little bit of distraction from Tully, was able to evade the guards and escape with her. Felix managed to get off a message to him suggesting that you all... I forget your exact wording, but it was something like, if you're cool, then come meet us at the not the docks. What is it called?
Eel's End.
Eel's End. You wanted to meet at Eel's End tonight, and so you returned home to the Script and Scrimshaw after things kind of died down. While you were discussing the day's events, a letter appeared at the door with a bit of a knock, and the letter said, and I'm actually going to retcon slightly what I said last time. So if you don't remember, that's fine. But it says, "Dear friend, the girl is safe for now. We shall meet tomorrow night at Eel's End as you proposed. Blackjack."
Oh, he super changed his mind.
Originally, it
news.
said in a few days. I was reading it and thinking about it later, and I was like, nah, it should just happen tomorrow. So,
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
all right.
So we have some time.
So, yeah. Let's go back over here to the map. So you guys are currently at the Script and Scrimshaw. And so yeah, you read that aloud to the group after you close the door. And that's where we will continue. It is, I guess it is only around noon on Calistral the 17th, which should be a Sunday, looks like.
Oh,
Well, totally, it looks like you get to put on another costume.
Oh, which one am I wearing now?
Hopefully, the clothes that you wore last time we went to Eel's End still fit. So, because we're going to be meeting our friend there tomorrow evening.
Well, I might have been dead for a bit, but I'm not desiccated, so they should fit fine. We can dress up as you like. I think I was just wearing a garb, or a nondescript garb outfit rather than my normal attire. I'm trying to remember for sure.
You mean currently?
Yeah, right now I'm just still in guard
Yeah,
attire.
you had been in your guard uniform for the event. You might have dressed down slightly from that, but
Yeah, I didn't think we had gone back. I had gotten a chance to go home and actually take anything off and relax, so okay.
yeah, not really.
Alright, well, I'll pull out my disguise kit. Well, I guess we don't need that until tomorrow, so... But I will have it handy.
Hopefully, we'll maybe learn a little bit, even though I think this will end up just spawning more questions, because I'm still befuddled over what the Crown tried to do today.
Oh. I'm a dummy. There's one more thing. Maybe you turn it over and read P.S. Bring the girl.
I was like, which girl? I know the girl.
Well, that's going to make things just slightly complicated. Not too much, though. We can
can
move on to the
disguise her
cover
as
of
well.
the evening. If anything, her cloak will probably be a better disguise than the rest of us, than what the rest of us have.
I'll see
Yeah,
what
she
I can
does
come
have
up
a
with.
magical disguise cloak.
Yeah, that makes a lot of difference there. But I'll see what I can come up with for her if need be. I think we'll be okay. Just move at night and keep in the shadows.
I'm just writing down something real quick.
Regan is scribbling.
Because the 17th reminded me that I could relearn certain spells starting on the 17th, and then I had to write down a week for another spell. And I had to write it not on these, because these are my normal way of keeping track, and I lose them. So I wrote it in the computer.
Nice.
So now I know where it is. All right. Thank you,
Excellent.
everybody. Yes, I'm excited to go to Eel's End.
For now, I need to... Lizdy's already gone home, I believe. She's not here.
Yes. for the event, Felix closed up the bar after breakfast, basically, and
Okay.
Lizzie had gone to the beheading with
So-
Shield from Flame and Felix, but Felix had Shield from Flame take her home.
Okay, good.
afterwards.
So that's where she's at. Okay, then I need to go and check on her. That could have been much more traumatic than it was, but still not great.
Hold, if you will.
A voice echoes in your mind.
Oh, I pull out the tarot cards to see if Zalara needs to speak with us.
Please. You must assemble all of them.
Ooh,
I'll pull out my set.
bring the cards over.
Okay, well, I'll set them on the bar and I'll stack the deck.
You take out your 3 stacks of Harrow cards and stack them on top of each other. And as you do, they begin to glow a soft green and kind of fold up and start shuffling. And floating above the bar materializes Zalara. She's just kind of floating there, shuffling the cards in the air.
If you wouldn't mind, I feel as though tonight marks the beginning of something. And I think it would be prudent if we heard what the cards had to say.
Ooh, yes.
Of course.
I'm gonna pay
For
way
today's
more
episode.
attention this time.
Is brought to you by The Vision.
Which I think I forgot to say when we actually started the episode. There you go. New tarot card just dropped. Okay, so yeah, if you're fine with it, she will start to do the reading here at the bar. She'll float down to the opposite side of the bar and start arranging the cards out on the corner there. She arranges an initial set of 9 to pick from. And let me see if I can remember how to get this showing on the stream. It's been a bit. Okay, show players. I can't share. Oh, I need to begin reading. Oh, jeez, that's so loud. Sorry.
Thank God.
Shuffle.
In the quiet
Calm
bar, the
down.
cards are a ruckus.
Yes. Oops. Let's see. All players should be able to observe. Okay. Cool. Chat should be able to see the reading here. So I'll need each of you. We'll go one by one, and we'll do Char, then we'll do Regan, then Tully, then Felix. And she'll say something after each card that you draw.
So first, we must begin the choosing. I feel power coming from the suit of shields this day.
Ooh.
So these 9 cards are taken from that suit and represent the trials that you may face ahead. Now please, if you would each pick.
And she'll gesture to Regan first.
Ooh, I can pick any of these.
Yep, you can pick any of these 9 cards.
I've picked. Oh, that worked.
You draw the Waxworks.
Ooh.
Largely green card with a figure being dropped down into a pit of boiling wax, while 2 waxy faces look on. Zalara has her eyes closed.
The Waxworks. A card of trials, of hopelessness in the face of something sinister. Two figures look on, experts in your field, dangerous, powerful. The works that they oversee may be too much for you to handle on your own. I see death in your future. Not necessarily your own, but of those you seek to help. You may not be able to save all of them, but it is important that you do not give up hope.
She opens her eyes to give a glance over at Regan, and then turns to Tully.
Tully will grab the card closest to him. Well,
Okay.
not in this form, but
The bottom left card. You draw another green card, the sickness. A man seemingly praying to some gods as his body withers away due to some fell poison or malady.
As I feared, something is reaching out, trying to touch you. I can see where that hand touches, a sickly red blossom spreads. And from there, your touch, your finger corrupts another, and they corrupt another, and another, and they all wither and die. I'm sorry, but this bodes very ill.
Tully is very taken aback and just stone-faced, staring at the card.
And she'll turn to look at Felix. You, looking at the set of 9 cards, chooses the last remaining card in the first column, creating a bingo.
Tic-tac-toe!
The survivor. She pauses a moment. I feel that same sickness, that pain. But for you, a field of wilted flowers. Yet atop it, you stand alone, blooming white. Your roots, they're connected to something, to other brilliant white flowers that protect you in some way. I'm unsure of what this could mean, but perhaps it can give you some solace in the days ahead.
And then she'll sort of like summon the cards back to her. They float up to her hand, and then she'll begin to magically kind of shuffle the deck in the air.
Hopefully not loudly.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, hopefully not loudly.
Oh, hopefully not loudly. It's probably gonna be
Char,
loudly.
All right, I'm ready this time.
How do I? Maybe I can. Hold on. Maybe I can reduce the sound volume.
Trini is
know
going
if
to
it-
come downstairs. What are you all doing here?
It's like, shh, I'm trying to
let's see.
That
Okay.
wasn't so bad.
There we go. I reduced the Foundry audio.
That works.
Okay. She shuffles the cards and then again lays out a 3x3 pattern. We begin the reading proper. Again, starting from Not that song. Let's go. I like this one. The first column represents the past, the things that you have already done or that have happened to you that will affect the near future. In the positive past, we draw the Fool. It's misaligned, which means that the Fool brings something positive to you. You have perhaps gained the graces of this false Fool who seems to conceal some sort of gift. It seems as if this Fool is waiting to see if you prove yourselves worthy. In the neutral present, or past, we draw the Paladin. A partial match, which means that some aspect of it is slightly changed from its normal meaning. The Paladin normally... well... it seems, and I suppose I know, that you have remained undeterred in the face of even something as powerful as death. And it seems that you will continue to need that resolve that you faced in your recent days to see you through whatever this is that comes next. And finally, in the negative past, the Demon's Lantern, another partial match. This card means that you have been misled by something, an alluring light whose power has been growing of late. It has guided you to false actions, to things that benefit the darkness. But now it turns its rays from you onto others to blind them from the truth. From there, we move on to the present. The positive present. The Keep, a true match. This holds some particular additional significance. The Keep itself represents a place, a sanctuary, a structure of some sort that will be a fortress to you in the days to come. I sense that if its doors are kept tight, it can bar against whatever calamity is yet to come. In the neutral present, the Mountain Man. A great strength is approaching, or building, perhaps. Normally this would represent a masculine force, but given that this is a partial match, I sense something feminine in its nature. The negative present. Oh dear. Cyclone. A terrible calamity comes. Something that will claim a great many lives. And importantly, the cyclone is not a natural occurrence, though it may seem like it at first. No, it is a storm born of intellect, of design, that comes for Korvosa. And now we move into the future. The positive future.
the Forge. Card of solutions, of crafting, of creation. It means that your problem, well, the solution to your problem must be created in some way. I sense pieces of a formula scattered in pages. 3 bright stars lighting the night sky above the forge that combine into a single drop of blood red. She shakes her head. The future, the neutral future, the fiend. Something terrible. A great red beast. An insect, perhaps. From a great house upon the sea. I can see it growing, devouring many innocent lives. But for what purpose, I can't see. And finally, in the negative future, the publican. Partial match and misaligned. Normally, the publican is a card of refuge, which means that many will not be able to find such refuge. It also means, perhaps, that smiling faces will lead the innocent to their doom. False saviors guiding the sheep to the slaughter is not a good sign at all. I apologize, she says as she summons the cards back to her to shuffle the deck once more and split it into 3 equal decks. I had hoped my feeling was a false one, but I can't help but take strong negative vibes from this reading. Something dark is approaching, and I fear for all of us. And she kind of settles and begins to fade away.
Thank you for at least the warning. If the script and scrimshaw can be our keep, hopefully it will give us some measure of safety in the trials ahead.
I don't trust the queen anymore. This reading has made me trust her less, despite no evidence that this is about her in any way.
I think that's
Now I'm
entirely
very
fair.
wary.
She was putting an innocent person to death. I think that on its own is fairly heinous.
Yes.
It is possible she was misled, that she didn't know who Trinia was, but I don't.
Like, maybe in isolation, but when you add together the sort of willful ignorance of relations with the Shawanti and the sudden decision to go raise an army, there's a lot of really questionable decisions coming out of the Queen's entire team right now.
And the missing advisor on top of it. Who we need to find. Maybe we don't need to find them.
May still be good
But
for
we
us
should
to
try.
Yes.
Definitely. Exactly how is a good question, but maybe we'll learn
Makes no
something from
progress.
our meeting with our meeting tomorrow night.
Yes. I think your instinct there is correct. Maybe not best to speak the name.
Is
Yes.
Will very quiet for anybody else? Or
Am
is
I
it
quiet?
just me? Okay.
Might also be
Like,
speaking
I'm
very
straining
quietly.
to hear.
I'm
Okay.
speaking a little quietly, but
I
We're
can
conspiring.
I'll turn you.
we
turn
are
you up a bit
conspiring.
more. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, what are you saying?
Just conspiring conspiratorially.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think saying Blackjack's name out loud is a good idea, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least around others. Trying to keep information about him on the down low is the best, since he is technically an outlaw.
Wasn't doing very legal things, I think, at the execution, so
Oh, yes.
I agree.
It's yeah, but casually calling an execution and inviting the entire city to it, just I'm not saying two wrongs make a right here, but that the Queen made one hell of a choice.
She
It
did make
was
a hell of a
very
choice.
casual for the fact that we're not very used to public executions here. I thought it was going to be a fun experience, which it was, but overwhelmingly for the average person, I don't think it was.
Well, I think it was more exciting than originally they might have thought.
Mhm.
There's a part of me that still wants to believe the Queen is just in over her head. This is a new role for her to take on, and trying to consolidate her power. We've seen how much chaos is already going on, and trying to get a hold on things is very difficult, but
Yes, it's possible there's people whispering in her ear that shouldn't be.
and it would explain why her advisor, the advisor we're looking for, went missing. Somebody who could speak common sense would not be wanted in that sort of space.
I see what you're saying, and like you can imagine this as a ill-conceived show of force to try and demonstrate to the city the Queen has everything under control, up to and including where the axes fall.
I'm not going to stand here and pretend that this was all on the up and up. I'm very concerned, but I am wary about turning on, well, the city that I love, and the Queen is the city.
I do wonder what Blackjack has to say, since he seems to at least have known about the execution prior enough to plan a somewhat quick and easy escape. So I'm very curious what he knows.
Same. Tully will grab one of the three third decks.
Oh,
and
yes.
Put it away for now.
Our little communicators, and Regan will grab a partial deck to put back.
Same.
Did your reading mean anything to either of you?
I'm mostly surrounded by death, so I'll see where it goes. But it's not very frightening. Yours seemed quite bad, though.
Yes, I didn't appreciate it very much, I'm going to be honest, but that was part of why I was wondering if it was meaningful or just nonsense, as these things often are.
Feels like I will perhaps know in the future, but unclear. Felix has seemed very positive.
And like, I think you also have to take it as a whole in that our readings together kind of build a narrative of dark times ahead for sure, but some hope within it.
Mhm.
That even if terrible things are to come, that there is still a chance for someone to survive the coming ordeal.
She did say something surprisingly specific about a formula. Is that something
the
you know about? Regan?
forge. Oh, I don't know of any. Well, I don't know what
3
we're
stars.
facing for what formulas, but I was very excited about that card because I feel like I could research about it. But yeah, stars and forges and pages and combining things together. And for what purpose?
Well, for now, I think I am going to head home and check on Lizzie. Maybe see a healer, just to make sure there's nothing else going on.
I hope you can get what rest you can. I'll see you tomorrow.
Same to you. Good night.
Is it noon?
It's the middle of the
Yeah,
day, but
I know he
Yeah.
sleeps. He does sleep at weird hours, but I'm making sure. Is it actually nighttime?
oh
Yeah, I have no belief he's gonna go to sleep. He's probably gonna pick up a shift.
I'm going to bed. Good night.
I'm
Okay,
just gonna go sleep someplace. I don't.
that sounds great.
He has
deserves
also
it.
seemed very, very tired since
Yeah.
he was brought back from the dead.
Yeah, I was just making sure it's not. This is the correct time. It's
Yes.
Correct.
Are at noon-ish.
night
still.
shift. He came back from the dead. He can go sleep for
Yeah,
however long.
I'll maybe jump at an hour. It's like 1 p.m. ish.
Ooh.
Well,
Hello, Felix.
what do
What
you do
time
the
did
rest
it
of the
say
afternoon?
that we had to meet Blackjack? Did he say a time or just a day at night?
Just tomorrow night.
Okay, tomorrow night. So it's not today.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably tomorrow around sunset is when we should be at Eel's End. But yeah, you have plenty of time if you want to go try to dig into the mechanics of the forge and see what you can find by way of history.
You know me so well now. That's all I was thinking about. I don't know. She'll jot down a few things okay, stars, forge, pieces of something. Maybe I can find some historical document that mentions these, but it might be a wild goose chase, but I'm willing to go and chase that goose.
Yeah,
My
you
big
certainly.
library.
Yeah, you can certainly go try to research what that might mean.
Yes. Is there actually? So there's the library at the academy. Is there a bigger, more extensive library in Corvosa that might have more historical documents specific to the city?
Yes, the library at the University of Corvosa,
Okay.
which is not too far from the academy. They would have more civic stuff.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I might pop in there.
Yeah, they have a public library that anybody can go into.
I think that'll be, unless anyone has anything else to do, that's what I'm going to do. I'm about to spend hours reading. You're free to come read with me, Felix. It's a very exciting time.
We'll be a bookworm.
As interesting as that sounds, I was gonna try to see what all I could find about Neolandis, and our missing seneschal. The Queen's erratic behavior can not be completely explained, but a lack of a decent advisor is a problem. And the last trail we have has him disappearing amidst the chaos of the death of the king. And I don't know how to pick up the trail from there, but, maybe I can go ask some old friends.
Yeah, and maybe if we don't find anything, there is a small chance maybe Blackjack knows either why this person went missing or if someone kidnapped him. So that could
Definitely
be
a
our
good
last
question.
resort. Yeah. Information gathering time.
Indeed.
All right. To the streets.
Ooh.
So Mayhem's heading home for the evening.
Yes.
Felix, you sound like you're going to go try to gather information. And Regan, you're going to go study at the library of the university. So
Yes.
this big building over here. Oh wait, that's the museum, isn't it?
Ooh.
Where's the university? The university is over here.
I get sidetracked by the
campus.
museum.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? Maybe
Uh,
there's something in the museum as well.
The Jagari Museum is up there, and then this is the University of Corvosa, which is more of like the mundane studies university. They don't really cover magic stuff, but they do have this big round building here is a giant library.
Ooh.
We've got kind of like shelves all along the walls, a bunch of kind of interior shelves, and then there's like ladders and stuff that like slide along the back walls to climb up to any part of this circular building that you could get to various entries. So yeah, sure, let's do that first, and then we'll do Felix. Actually, Mayhem, when you get home, Lizzie is already there. She's just kind of sitting on the couch, doing some knitting. Or not knitting, maybe it's like sewing. Something. She's making some clothes. You don't know the difference between the two.
I really don't. She's like something crafty.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Dad.
Right. You got out of whatever that mess was okay. Good. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, were you working?
Yes,
I didn't see you.
I was feebly chasing after Blackjack, but
But
that's
Blackjack didn't do anything, Dad. Do you really think that woman should have been
No.
killed for...
No, I don't. But my job is to catch people who are criminals, and Blackjack is a criminal. Even if what he did right then was what I would personally consider heroic, I have a duty.
I guess, but if you caught him, wouldn't the Queen just kill him too?
Well, it's a good thing I didn't catch him then.
I guess so.
I'm just glad you're okay. But you do understand there is a purpose, a duty that we have as citizens here, right? To keep our city safe and a place to want to be.
Yeah, I know.
Laws and rules exist so we can all coexist together. And somebody has to enforce them sometimes.
Oh, and that's why we have the guard like you, right? And
Yeah.
those cool armored people. What was that all about?
The Queen
they, like,
has a
New guard?
I guess. Yes. I knew she'd been training some people. Mostly women, actually, if I recall correctly.
Oh, right. That must be the thing that Mom was trying to get me to join.
Yes. You're not actually thinking of joining them, are you?
Oh, no. I've already done a few lessons with, well, one lesson with Carlo, and
Mhm.
while
while it's a lot of fun, I don't think I could do that sort of thing professionally.
I can say, but at the very least, I'm glad to hear that you had your lesson. How did it go?
Oh, it was great. He was really nice. It was mostly just kind of practicing form, and he was very careful that he didn't let me use like a real sword or anything. But
Oh, of course. That's actually rather wise of him. Though, nothing to say that experience isn't a good teacher. But I am glad that you are able to keep taking those classes, and please do. I want you to be able to defend yourself.
yeah, he said we could keep doing classes on not Wednesday, on weekends. I was supposed to actually go today, but with the whole
Things, yes.
yeah, I figured it was probably, well, I did actually go over there, but looked like he was closed for the day.
I'm sure he was also going to attend. Didn't see him in the crowd, but I admit I was not looking for him, and the whole city was there, so.
Well,
No,
thanks,
I'm
Dad, for
going
looking
to-
out for me.
Yes, yeah. I'm gonna go check and see if there's any other work that I need to be doing. Just wanted to make sure you were safe.
Okay.
She'll get up and walk over to the kitchen.
And Tully feeling a little awkward, having just tried to school his child for no reason, is going to head to Citadel. Trying to instill in her a sense of duty because that was very important to him.
I like that he came home to like ostensibly go to sleep, but
It's not napping.
100% called, wasn't actually going to go to sleep.
Little
I knew it.
awkward to be doing that now is
I knew
what
it.
he's feeling. He's going back to the
He
Citadel.
says he's going to sleep, but
gonna
he's
go
not going to
try
sleep.
and do some work and be out of the awkward place.
all right. Okay, well,
Just helping clean up after the mess that happened during the day.
yeah, it's there's not a lot of interesting work going on. It's mostly just clean up. You hear some people. It sounds like Blackjack is now getting the wanted treatment, but there's someone you see some people coming through with like wanted posters for both Trini and Blackjack.
I'm sure those wanted posters
they're
are going
like-
to be very useful with him being fully masked all the time, but
Is it just wanted dude clad in black with mask?
Yeah, basically.
Go team.
Okay, Regan. What
reading.
did you want to do over here at the university library?
Alright, so we've got like very few hints for this. There's 3 stars, something about a forge, something about hidden pieces. I feel like the 3-star thing is probably the easiest to latch onto, and then the forge. So I'm gonna try and look for like historical accounts of constellations, and then of like historically important forges. That seems a good
Okay.
place to start.
Sure. Give me a society check, unless you've got something, a different skill that you want to roll. But we'll start with society.
Seems fine. Do-do. And is this just like looking for kind of books type society thing? Or is
Yeah,
it, like
this is.
asking somebody?
Well, it depends on what approach you want to take. I'm assuming right now that you're just looking through the library. So just sorting through records, trying to find interesting stuff. If you wanted to more talk to people, that'd be diplomacy.
We will. What is my diplomacy? Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I'll start with the books.
Okay.
And then if I get lost. Whoops. Alright, we got a 15 for 26.
26. Okay. So you spend the next 2 hours digging through various books about astrology and about like legendary forges or important forges in the area, and after looking at a number of different like trios of stars, there are plenty of star trio constellations. And looking up various forges, you're pretty sure that this isn't literal. That none of these stars seem to have anything to do with what she was talking about or any of the other sort of themes of what she was giving off in that reading. So you're guessing that was something metaphorical and no literal star formation. And no literal legendary forge.
Oh,
That's
dear.
fair.
Regan's like, a metaphor, not my best.
Yeah, that seems to be... So, the stars seems to be just a metaphor for 3 things. Three things in 3 different places.
Oh. Do I think the forge is not literal either, or is it just that might be a literal forge?
The forge, she must be referring to like a place to put something together. That could be like a forge, like a literal forge. It could be, depending on what it is you're trying to assemble, like it could be a workshop, it could be an alchemy lab, it could be like an arcana bench or an enchantment table. It could be any number of things. So it's probably some sort of place where you need to assemble these 3 things, whatever they are.
Okay. Are there any... I'm trying to think of like... Not like fables, but not real stories about... I don't know how, like, what genre it would be where it's like fairy tale level stuff.
Like legends and myths.
Yeah, like legends or myths about someone saving something but having to like put pieces together. So it's like, oh, you have to fight a dragon, but you have to get these 3 pieces of a sword. Something that might not be literal. Or maybe more magical and go to the academy for that.
Are you looking for just like an example of something? Of like a story where this happens? Or
yeah, kind of like maybe there's a like story parents would tell their children about something in Corvosa lore that's like, oh, a hero once saved the city doing this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that would be another society check then.
I do love my fantasy books. Let's see. 17 for 28.
28, okay. Yeah, you spend some time combing through various like local legends, and at some point you get the idea, oh, she's Verizian. Her Harrow cards are like a Verizian historical thing. Maybe you should look at like other like Verizian records that might exist. Unfortunately, there's not a lot because the Verizians are primarily an oral tradition people. A lot of their stories get told in person and not recorded in textual form. But you do find a couple of different books on various Verizian legends, some of which do involve people reacting to harrowings that they've had done. And you do find story in which one person is given a sort of similar sort of harrow reading, where the forge does come up in their future. And this one's a bit silly. They were told they were trying to like recreate a like long forgotten ancestral recipe, and the forge was one of the cards that came up in the Harrowing, and they realized that because of it they needed to gather various family members' recollections of their like great grandmother's recipe for this particular kind of stew, and then synthesize the information from those 3 different recipes, or not 3, but like she needed to collect like many different recipes. She needed to gather these many different recipes, synthesize the information, and then use that to create a new recipe that that was as close as she had ever gotten, and she was then satisfied with what she came up with.
Okay. So this might be like more intense than I expected, with needing to find
Perhaps.
things and then figure out the puzzle of these things. That's horrible and very exciting. It's like horrible as a player. I'm like, oh dear. And she's like, oh yeah, I can totally do that. How nice. So I mostly learned that it's not super literal, but that I have to find stuff. Well, unfortunately, I don't know what to find. Maybe that'll come up later. Because I don't know what we're fighting. I don't know if this is like a monster we're gonna need something for, or something even less literal. But I guess it's good information. No, it's not like, oh, I'm just holding back on telling you these like 3 very specific things you need.
Yeah, it seems perhaps you'll have a better idea in the future when it happens, but yeah, with the information you've got, it's hard to know exactly what to look for.
It's like one of those games where you're trying to solve a puzzle and you realize after hours that maybe I didn't learn the right thing yet to have enough info, but that's okay. That's good info to have.
Yeah, you've currently got a hint for a puzzle that you have not seen yet, so...
How exciting. I must know more.
You put that in your copybooks and keep that in mind.
I typed it all out.
All right.
Yeah, she's gonna
so yeah,
spend the day reading, but I'll accept that this is what I figure out.
Okay. Yeah, you can spend more time, looking through the various legends, but that's the gist of what you've come up with. Seems like it's not quite literal. Seems like you've got to synthesize some information or something, and you don't really have any idea of what that is yet because you don't know what calamity is you're trying to solve. But perhaps once you know what the calamity is, then you can do something about it.
I can't wait for the calamity.
That leaves... Oh, Majenko's here. Let's send Majenko to the library. That leaves Felix. You said you wanted to go gather information on Neolandis.
Yes.
Where would you like to do that?
I feel like maybe this is a chance to go visit some of the other bars in the city. Like, I have to keep up with what the competition is doing.
Okay. Local bars, or are you going to a different district?
I kind of want to go hunt something in and around the, trying to remember the name of the districts around the heights, around the
Around the castle?
correct.
Okay.
both because I want to like if some trail of what happened in Neolandis exists, maybe that might be the place to pick it up. And also, like, I'm sort of generally curious around, in the absence of Neolandis, what advice has the Crown been getting? What decisions have they been making? Because we just saw a really wild decision-making process lead to a attempted public execution. That's sort of crazy.
Okay. Those will be two separate topics, so you can pick one at a time. Which
Understood.
one do you want to do first?
I feel like
we'll do
maybe just figuring out what's going on recently with the Crown is an easier way to lead into. Yeah, but what happened to Neolandis? So we'll start with like recent goings on. How the hell did we all not see a public execution coming?
Okay. So recent goings on around the castle.
Correct.
Okay. Give me a diplomacy check then to gather information.
Private.
Okay. Yeah, you go check out the bars around the Castle Corvosa, and things are pretty hectic. People are still buzzing about the events of the day. You ask around about, what led up to this, what was going on in and around the castle. And people mostly seem to be telling you things that you already knew, that there had been a bit of a frenzy as the common folk had been hunting for the assassin in order to cash in on the reward money, and that no one seemed to successfully do that. And that it sounds like the guard was the one who found Trinia in the end. And there's a mix of opinions on whether or not her rescue by Blackjack was a good thing or a bad thing. Depends on how Queen loyal they seem to be. But yeah, people don't seem to be too, at least in the couple of bars that you visit, don't seem to be too knowledgeable about anything that you haven't already heard.
Okay.
So that would be 2 hours. It's now 3 p.m.
Nice to know that I didn't miss anything. That it was as wild a decision from the outside looking in as everyone else picked up on. But yeah, with that not yielding anything, I think I would dig a bit deeper. And maybe wander more towards the university in trying to find out what happened in Neolandis.
Okay.
Like the trail we have leads off with them disappearing amidst the death of the king, and then blank. And any and all information would be cool.
All right. Okay, yeah, you ask about Neolandis. Has anyone seen him? There are a number of people who you go to a bar that turns out Neolandis had been here before. That he hasn't showed up in a long time. They're not sure where he went. At that bar, one of the old time patrons who's there, elderly man, seated in the corner, seems like he's maybe like a permanent fixture in this bar. You're not sure if he ever gets up and moves ever. He's just got like a pile of glasses by him.
Do I just end up trading beers for stories across the course of a couple hours?
Yeah, in fact, he seems like he'd be willing to tell you a story, but he wants a drink. He hasn't had enough yet. If you're willing to give him a pay 5 copper for a pint.
Oh, easily the round. I'm happy to buy a round in exchange for a good tale.
All right. Well, then he spends the next hour regaling you with the story of the riots, the day the announcement came that the king had died. It sounds like Neolandus was part of the group of people from the castle who had made the announcement out in the center courtyard area to the south, same place where you saw the execution. And it sounds like when that happened, a huge riot broke out. People stormed the stage. And he says that his friend's brother's sister's cousin saw Neolandus get stabbed in the scuffle, and that a guard was like carrying him off to the side, and then some guy jumped the two of them, and Neolandus managed to run off while the guard was like fended off the like it was actually like 3 rioters who had tried to jump them. But Neolandus sounds like managed to run off, but nobody's heard hide nor hair of Neolandus since then. That sounds like that's the last time that anybody has heard from him in the area. It was basically like the day of the announcement of the king's death.
Oh. If this is the bar Neolandus used to frequent, does he have a flat somewhere around here? Is he like where might he?
No. Neolandus lives at the castle. He just sometimes likes to come out and he was good friends with what's his name? The Endrin fellow, Marcus. The two of them used to come here and drink. It was kind of a halfway point between both their jobs. So it was a little bit easier for him.
Oh. Well.
Now, just between you and me, I think Marcus is probably next in line to become the seneschal if Neolandus doesn't show up, but I haven't seen him in a while, so I don't know if maybe the Queen's setting up to groom him for the role, or that's what I have to assume anyway.
I mean, we ran into Marcus, so I remember him, but it's crazy that even Marcus is sort of gone incognito. But anyway, thank you.
Oh, it doesn't sound like he's gone incognito, just that he hasn't shown up at this bar, because normally he comes here to meet with Neolandus.
Oh,
and Neolandus
okay.
hasn't been around.
No, that makes sense. And it's, I guess without his friend to make the occasion, it's a little out of his way, but hopefully Neolandus will show himself at some point, if only to reassure everyone that he's okay. But otherwise, thank you for regaling me with this tale.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Anything else you want to look up or ask around about?
I think that would be it. I can't really think of anything else right now to start digging into.
All right. So, satisfied in your search, you might hang out around. Felix might be asking around for other stuff, but doesn't come up with anything additional beyond that. And eventually, you head home for the evening. Unless anybody had anything else for me, I'm going to go ahead and jump to the next day. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Sounds good to me.
Same here. Just working, then we'll come home and crash.
Yep.
Eventually.
All right. Next day. What do y'all want to do?
Good
I
question.
know what I want to do. It's more research. Well, let me move myself there.
Sure. If Regan knows what Regan wishes to do, then
It's not
sort of start with
super
Regan.
exciting.
That's fine.
But since I'm here at the school, I wanted to see if I could procure any records about Rolf. School records.
Yes, you could attempt to do so. Those would require
Check.
yeah, it depends on how you're trying to acquire them. Are you going the sort of legal above board route, or are you going to try and swipe some records? Or are you just going to try to convince someone? So it'd be academia lore to try to just go through the appropriate channels. It'd be diplomacy to try and convince someone, or deception. Or it'd be like stealth and thievery to try to swipe some records.
I'm not a stealth or thievery character. It appears on my sheet, so maybe not that way. I do think she
I mean,
would
if you got
attempt to
spells
go
that could help you,
above
you could do that. But okay, you're gonna try to go.
Oh,
above
that's
board.
true. I do have little sneaky spells, but she'll try above board first. She has trust that her the admins at the school will be very forthcoming, especially with her cool little badge that she has. Be like, hey, I need to find out information on this guy. He's been up to no good. And she has to say it without being like, the guard has told me to do a bunch of stuff. But it's just
Yeah,
like,
you can.
hey.
Hey,
Do
you
we have
don't have to
records
give a
on
reason
you?
necessarily.
Yeah.
So,
I'm interested in him.
Okay, give me an academia lore roll.
I'm interested in him. I want to get him something for his birthday that he would hate. Oh, I guess I should have done that quietly, but a 9 for 20.
20. Alright. Let's see.
trying to think of what Rolf would hate the most. Something sparkly and upbeat.
Yeah. Something very nice smelling. Beauty. Charity.
The faculty member that you're talking to about it. Oh, well, records on a student. The grades have been particularly good, but
I'm such a
they're
good
normally
smart
not
student.
allowed to give out such records like this. Look, how about I can let you look at them, but I can't allow you to take them anywhere. Is that okay?
Yeah, that would be fine. I have a very good memory.
Okay. And she'll lead you over into the records room. Pull through the files until she finds Gadrin's. Hands you the folder and directs you to sit at a table, and she'll
Or
sit
roll.
across from
Oh,
you.
Gage and Roll. Fuck, that's his last name. I forgot they're
Yes.
related.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
What did I
want
say?
him.
Did I say
You
Gadrin?
said
You said
Yeah.
Gadrin.
I meant. Sorry, I was
Yeah,
thinking of the two
I
of them. I
realized-
meant it's
Yeah.
Lamb is his last name. Lamb is his last
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
No,
like, oh my God,
totally. You
Gadrin.
accidentally get Gadrin's folder. Like,
You're
read
like,
through that shit.
Head though.
No,
Alright, yeah,
Gadrin did not know how to cast spells. He was not a student here. But yeah, she hands you Rolf's files, and she'll sit across from you to watch you as you flip through it.
We'll be here for hours, unless it's a really small file.
Yeah, I
Got
mean,
me.
it's not super. It's like a handful of pages. It seems to be like admission form, various like report cards, equivalent things, like grades in various classes, some test scores, and then some discussion notes around his eviction from the school.
Were his grades good?
Yes, his grades were very good.
Ah, that's okay. Were they better than mine?
Yes.
No. Ooh. She frowns.
Yes, he had quite the good grades across all of his subjects, not just necromancy.
Oh man.
Seems like he was particularly good at necromancy.
Did he was he not so good at something?
That is what I was going to try and find for
Okay.
you. That will take me a moment to... Oh, right. Sorry, I have to find his stat block. Spoilers, he has a stat block.
Oh no.
Okay. Let's see.
I was going to be expelled for grades, but I had
Yeah,
had
I
a
mean, you
reason.
got...
His uncle or dad killed indirectly my best friend. So technically it's Rolth's fault. He was sabotaging me the whole time.
Yeah, I mean,
Would've
if
been
you
better
count
for him.
just your new grades are pretty close to his. But your previous
I
grades
feel
where you
that.
had been lagging, not so much.
Mm.
Yeah, looks like he did. His worst grades are in illusion and transmutation. It looks like he picked those as his opposition schools. So
That's
he
great
didn't
news.
he didn't study as much in those as he did in everything else. But looks like, yes, he was particularly good at necromancy, as well as surprisingly good in enchantment and evocation. And conjuration as well. But everyone at the school is forced to be good at conjuration, so it's not a surprise.
Alright. So here's his grades. What are the notes about why he was expelled? Anything juicy?
Yeah, if you're looking through the notes on his expulsion, let's see. No, there was the specific. Sorry, let me see if I can find the bit that specifically talked about his expulsion. Chapter 1's long. Yes. Yeah, he had been doing a number of experiments on campus, which, I mean, students doing experiments, fine, but the academy found out that he had been butchering stray animals and homeless people.
Oh.
And basically anything that he could get his hands on to try to build some kind of flesh contraption. The meeting notes in the that you're sort of reading through, the academy ends up agreeing amongst the board not to press charges against him, because they didn't really want to cause a big scene and draw undue attention to the university. So they end up just expelling him
Hmm.
quietly and letting him go. They were hoping that without access to the university's resources, that he would just be forced to stop doing magic. But that seems to not be the case.
They say that they're educated here. Alas, it's like, oh, well, they may have not wanted to draw attention, but now he's drawn attention to himself through me. And now I'm going to
Yeah,
have to
I
go
mean,
kill him.
it certainly doesn't look good on the university
Mhm.
to not have done anything about it. But yeah, they
Seems like
basically
they're
caught him.
weird.
It is, you are allowed to use like body parts donated to science, like that's fine. But grave digging and butchering, clearly against the law.
Yeah, like, let's not go
and against the
steal
school policy.
things.
Yes.
And that's the worst part, is it's against school policy.
Yes,
Yeah.
against school policy.
How
you
could they
can't.
do this?
Can't let that stand. No. Terrible.
Law, fine. School policy, gotta nick that.
I can see
Um,
some people being like, it's fine, but it's against policy, so
Normally I would
There we
overlook
go.
this, but it is against school policy, so I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
One gets the feeling that every entity in Corvosa thinks itself the universe.
Yeah, it's just Corvosa has that problem. I'm sure nowhere else.
Oh,
does.
and to be fair, it looks like it was it had gotten reported by a couple of students that he was like doing some weird stuff, and then they kind of found out suddenly all at once, like, oh, we found a bunch of like corpse parts that he had clearly taken from near living people.
Still had a guy's
in-
head in his fridge. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
That was all
Well,
found out at
that's-
once, and he was expelled pretty quickly after that.
Okay.
Oh, and he was his case was like there is a note that they had forwarded the information to the Corvosan Guard,
Oh.
but just that they had declined to press charges through the court system.
Maybe the Corvosan Guard has more information on him. Yeah. Is there anything else of interest, or is it mostly just here's his grades, here's why he was expelled? Does he have like other relatives that they're like, here's his if he goes to the hospital, please call.
Well, there was his dad, but I think we.
Yeah, the only listed relative is Gadrin Lamb, his father.
I don't know. I'm surprised
Um,
he would list that person.
But
no.
there's on his admission form, he's listed Gadrin as an emergency contact, but he has written as a note, only in extreme emergencies.
Ooh.
Do you think they called him when they found out that his son was doing bad illegal things, and were like, "Your son has been murdering people on school
Broke school
property and knows
policy."
better."
I don't know if that was extreme enough for them.
I guess it wasn't murder; it was dismemberment. But
Oh, and I guess worth noting that there is a period of years before you come in, you become an apprentice for some years, and then you start your actual studying. And so the application form is from some years ago, like 6 years ago or so.
not super recent. But
Yeah.
But his expulsion was more recent, relatively speaking.
Yes, the expulsion was like last year.
Ah. So he was hanging around here. Does it list the names of the students he found out what he was doing?
Oh, yes, it does list a few student names, yeah.
All this protected information that Regan's just able to look at.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it, taking notes in my big brain. Yeah, I'll jot down whoever they are in my head. Maybe I'll go talk to them later and be like, "How did you find this out? Did you know him? Were you friends with him? was anyone friends with him?
But
Yeah.
You can find out
oh
that
yeah, actually, you there's a no, never mind. That wouldn't make sense. Okay. Sorry, I was gonna give you something, and then yeah.
That's okay.
Ignore me.
I will. Well, if there's nothing else in here, I suppose I'll be done reading it and slide it back.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me read that. I
Uh,
appreciate it.
You're welcome. And if you need anything else, do feel free to come let us know.
Oh, I will.
She'll escort you back to the entrance of the faculty building, and you can leave from there. Yeah, it probably would have been, the staff quarters.
Right down to check
Oh,
out.
actually, no, it would have been Ornelas Hall, the administrative building. So,
Oh, wait. I just write down the things I want to do.
oh, yeah, go for it. You've been, as soon as you get out, you immediately start scribbling a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff. Okay, while you're doing that, the rest of you.
I figured I would actually work a full day at the Script and Scrimshaw. I know, like, I haven't done it in a while.
Shock.
But, like, I'm here for the day until the evening, so I figure I can actually lend a hand for once instead of making Lizzie run the place herself.
Alright, sounds good.
Also, give me a chance to tell Trinia we're going for an adventure this evening.
I don't think you've worked in a week, so you can go ahead and do an earn income. Which would be alcohol lore. And it's just the level of your business, and your business level is currently 1. So DC is 12. That is a success, but not a critical success. So, what are you trained in? Trained in alcohol lore. So that is, 2 silver for today, and then every day for the next week. From this point, you can just earn 2 silver per day that you work there, without having to reroll.
Oh, cool. How's business doing? I did a little bit of advertising in the past, and like you've had a chance to sort of
it's pretty
reopen.
busy. There's plenty of people here. They're all buzzing. It's all just people kind of excited, surprised about the reappearance of Blackjack. The news that the killer had been caught, that the killer has gotten away. The excitement that things are happening seems to have replaced the kind of dread that people were feeling before. There seems to... It's weird that things seem to have kind of calmed down as a result of this. Everyone's just excited to have something to talk about. And it seems to be successfully distracting everyone from the otherwise discomfort that everyone's been going through.
It makes sense. With a new drama to consider, everyone's attention is stolen for a minute. And it's good to see the place busy. Is it busy enough that I should really start thinking about getting a chef? Because at some point we're going to get to more cooking than Lizzie and I can prep for.
Yeah, probably. There's enough people come in for food, and you can only really offer the most basic things for them. You imagine that this amount, like this level of clientele, is probably capped on your inability to provide food.
Maybe I'll start doing the paperwork again to commission a recruiter.
Okay.
The lady who helped us last time was efficient, if brisk.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you're on the side. You're plotting ideas for how to step the business up a little bit.
Indeed.
But all right. Wait, actually, sorry. Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, okay. Tully, what you up to?
Good question. Would not have thought to do any research on Rolf, since Regan hasn't shared that information with me yet. So probably going to be trying to do some work in the city, to see if I can help out any of the citizenry, try and help the morale if possible, because I know that things are, especially after yesterday, a little bit weird. I would also like to get a feel for how the citizenry are reacting to Blackjack's return and to the Queen's shenanigans.
Okay. Are you wanting to do this work as Mayhem or as Tully?
I'll be doing this as Mayhem.
Okay.
Because I'll be going in disguise this evening as Mayhem, so.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Yeah, what part of town do you want to hang out in?
Well, I think I'd probably be best served being near to the Midland District. I don't know how many people... most of the city would have tried to turn out if possible, but obviously not everybody's going to be able to make it, so more people nearby would be doing so. So I'll check and see how the Midlands are doing for the most part near the castle itself.
All right. So what do I call that? All right. And you're trying to help out the residents largely.
Yes.
While talking to some of the residents, you find out that many of them have been having a problem lately with the Cerulean Society. With the Corvosan Guard being so short-handed, a lot of people's... so normally the Cerulean Society does like a protection racket for businesses, but they've been starting to do protection for people's like individual homes now. And so a lot of people are suddenly having to, despite being short on money because a lot of jobs are currently in weird limbo right now, some Cerulean Society thugs have been kind of muscling in on like trying to get them to pay up for protection from burglaries in this trying time. So if you want, you do find out about a particular small group of these Cerulean Society guys that seem to be organizing this, if you want to try to deal with them.
I would like to deal with them.
All right.
Let's see. Trying to debate if it would be better to go in and diplomatize, as it were. Though I think I'm
diplomacy.
going to try big stick diplomacy.
Yeah, the defaults are overpowering them with athletics or trying to instill fear with them with intimidation. Those are the things they listen to the most.
Intimidation was actually where I was inclined to go. That this is the Cerulean Society may have the ability to operate in this town, but they don't get to operate for free, and they definitely don't get to harass citizens in my city.
All right. Go and give me an intimidation check then.
Blind?
Yeah, you can go ahead and do it blind. Or you can do it public. Whatever.
Well,
You did blind.
question
That's fine.
marks.
Hey, that was very good. Yeah, you you drop in on these. You find out where they're meeting at. They're meeting in an old jewelry shop that has gone out of business. You find out about the meeting spot. It's happening midday. You drop in on the place. You scare the ever-living everythings out of them, and they're terrified. They agree to leave this entire area alone forever. They do not want anything to do with you.
Well, that's fine.
And they are spooked. If you want to talk to them about anything, like if you want to ask them anything, you can. You
Two things
basically.
that I want. Yeah, the two things I really want to know. First off, is are they doing this at the behest of the society at large, or was this a small group that just thought they could make a little bit of extra money on the side while things were bad? Because the society is official, but there, I'm sure, should be limits, and going after individual citizenry feels like we're hitting that limit.
Well, the boss, he said that we should be trying to find ways to get more money, and I just thought this was the best way, you know?
Maybe you
That's
should
the
have thought
leader
better.
of the three of them.
This boss of yours, is he broke or something? What's his problem?
No, the boss has got plenty of money, but he says things have been leaning on him, and when his people lean on him, he's got to lean on us, you know?
I sure do. Well, unfortunately, you got people leaning on you from a couple different directions, and I lean very, very hard.
Got it.
You should tell your boss that too.
Right.
Who is your boss? I'll tell him myself.
You rapidly looking for this dude's name. I should know it. There we go.
Boole. His name's Boole.
Boule.
Okay. Cool. Well, you can tell him I'm coming or not. It doesn't matter. Might be better for explaining why you're going back empty-handed, but I don't care. Get out of here.
Right. Sorry, sir.
And he and his two pals scurry off into the street.
Well, that's
And
interesting.
I guess as part of it, you can also gather information if you were going to try and judge the vibe in the area.
Yeah, now that hopefully once things will calm down over the next few days if this is stopped, but I'd still like to get a good feel for how people are reacting to the events that just occurred.
Oh,
also,
right, and that was a critical success with that, and I'll try to remember to do that after. Okay, I'll just note right here to give the results of that after. Okay. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, just looking to find out how people are reacting and how people are overall doing in the city, because I know that obviously money is tight, even if crime lords are starting to lean in the wrong direction to get more.
Yeah,
Are
so
things getting worse, like dramatically, or is it just slowly, steadily declining? It feels like?
things had gotten really bad, and in the last week, things have sort of stabilized a little bit. It sounds like a couple more jobs are opening up. You talk to a couple of people who are like, "Oh yeah, there was a job fair a couple days ago. Looks pretty promising." I hear they're some places are starting to hire again. Sounds like some shipping group is going to start working out in town at the Queen's behest. Maybe the Queen's not so bad. Sounds like some gears are starting to turn and get things rolling back to a stable state, but money's still tight everywhere.
Okay.
And at least in the Midland, people don't seem to be having too much trouble with food.
Right, but old Corvosa is probably not doing as well. know about the East Shore.
Some people are having to go out down to Green Market in the in South Shore to get their food. And Green Market's kind of expensive. It's like the Whole Foods of the area.
Really, really nice stuff comes in there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're eating better, but
It's
they're
good
getting they're getting that one big lettuce instead of their 5 Big Macs. You know.
Sure. Well, it is probably better for them, but food is still getting in at least, and people aren't too bad off yet. Okay. And so far, sentiment isn't strongly against the queen or anything.
No, people seem to be kind of hesitant, but
Fearful or just uncertain?
uncertain. There's a lot of uncertainty.
Okay.
The people who have heard about the Blackjack thing aren't sure if it's really Blackjack. Did he do a good thing there? Did he do a bad thing? Like, because some of the people who have heard about Blackjack saving this person now think that, oh, has Blackjack become evil? What's going on? Why is he doing this? And some people are like, Blackjack's doing that? He must be good. The queen must be evil. So opinions are very split. Everyone's confused.
I would love to spread the rumor to people who think that Blackjack is now evil, that specifically the queen set up a person to come in and do that, to make it so that Blackjack was actually the villain now, just to give the sense of blame.
Okay, you're gonna try to seed that doubt.
Yes.
Just sowing a rumor. Give me like deception.
Blind? Question marks. Well, I just heard that whoosh, so I'm guessing not a great roll.
I heard that.
I'm going to use a hero point on that.
The worst
I
rumor.
I don't know if those sounds come through on Twitch. I might have that blocked out, but
I didn't hear it on my end because I couldn't. I'm surprised I heard it at all. Yes, I think I will use a hero point on
All
that
right.
and see what it ends up being this time.
okay. So the definitely not natural one turned into a different number. Okay, yeah, you try to sow some rumor that that maybe the queen's been, or the queen set that all up, and it was just a ruse to try to throw
To make Blackjack the villain, yeah.
Blackjack under the bus. Yeah. Okay. You're not sure whether or not people are buying it, but
No worries.
You spread that rumor a little
I
bit.
would much rather that be the rumor than people thinking Blackjack somehow turned evil.
Right. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna just let that take us to the evening, when I presume you guys are gonna meet up together, unless you had other things you wanted to do before that point.
No.
We'll go to like 5-ish.
Make sure my disguise is clean.
My disguise isn't clean, that's how it's effective. It's a lot harder to see me under the grime and dirt.
All right. Well, once it is time, the gang reconvenes.
Whee! I'm coming.
Oh, you've gone to
Yes.
slightly
Hello.
wrong building.
Oh, I've gotten so lost.
Yeah, you got lost. You ended up at the Gilded Knight.
I'm so
Dia's
sorry.
confused why you're there.
This is
Uh,
not the place I meant to be.
You make your way over to the Script and Scriptshaw. So the Script and Scriptshaw is still open because it's like 5 p.m. Are you closing up early or?
Is it reasonable to sneak out the back? I don't want to like close the place because it sounds like we're actually like doing decent business, and that itself might raise some attention. But I don't want to have like everyone. I don't want to draw attention to Trinia like marching out the front door.
You don't currently have a back door.
Eek.
Let's
You can
make
get one installed. Or you can make one.
Let's punch through these walls.
Maybe that's on the to-do list for things I need to do to the place.
We could try climbing out a back window.
There's a good idea. Trini has proved already that she's pretty comfortable with running around alleys and
Oh
rooftops.
yeah, I think you do have some back windows.
Does it draw more attention to have somebody with the inconspicuous cloak climbing out a window than walking down through a crowd of people? Just as a thought.
You do have, on the second floor, you have a back window and a side window. And on the first floor, you have a back window out of the kitchen. The back window out of the kitchen is probably easier to get out of, but there's also technically the toilet. There's a window in the toilet.
Oh, yes.
On the first
Let's
floor.
go out the toilet window. Everyone would love that.
I'm just impressed with indoor plumbing.
I think I'll listen to Regan as the voice of reason and just sort of shadow Trinia out the front door.
Push her out the window. Megan's like, well, what's the point of the magic cloak if we're not just gonna walk around?
Okay, so you...
We'll make a discreet exit through the front door, and I make a mental note that it's about time to get a back door installed.
Let's see if I can find Trinia. Where are you? Okay.
We did return these Shoanti body parts, right? Because I think I
Yes,
have
yeah,
them in the inventory still.
Oh yeah, delete them from your inventory.
Yeah.
You gave them back to, or you gave them to Cressida, and she was going to give them to the Shoanti. So you've not witnessed that exchange, but you assume it's going to happen. Or
The
has
city
happened.
hasn't been overrun, so I'm gonna assume positive things. Yet.
Okay. So yeah, Felix and Regan, you shuffle out the front door with Trinia to a waiting Tullios outside.
It's Mayhem, but he's wearing a
Oh, sorry,
slightly
Mayhem,
different
rather.
mask. Yeah. Same one that we wore last time.
Deals
We're heading to
end.
meet a friend. Hopefully. We can get you out of here safely.
Okay. She's quiet and seems happy to let you lead her.
We will head to Eel's End, trying to keep off the main roads, but so it might take a little longer, but
Yeah, we'll take the scenic route.
Look at all these streets that are smaller than the big one.
Yep.
All
Yeah.
these
And
windows.
there's even smaller streets that I didn't make on the map.
This is an alleyway. It's very beautiful. The stonework is perfect.
We could use the big bridge, but what about all these little bridges?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
there
if
are a
we
bunch of
swam?
little bridges.
what
Yep.
are those? Are they like houses or are these
They're
locks?
gatehouses.
Gatehouses?
um,
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Huh. Gosh, that's a lot of gates you have to go through to get down there.
Oh,
You're
dear,
taking
there
the boat
is.
down that side.
Can you
Oh,
imagine paying a
These
toll
go
at each
over
one
the
of them?
water. There's you could go under all the bridges.
Oh, okay.
Also, this part of the map doesn't make any sense if you're looking at the map itself. So I've just decided this. I think there may be supposed to just be a bunch of docks down there, but they connect across. I don't know. In my version of this map, these are bridges that go up to the mainland. They're small. They're smaller, single person walkways, so you don't have to take the big main bridge if you're just commuting across.
That's fair.
But they all have their own individual gatehouses. But anyway, so you guys take the scenic way, and it takes 2 hours then to meander your way through the city, which is fine because it gets you to the area as it gets close to dusk, or sunset rather. Sorry, I'm trying to find the map. Where'd it go? Eel's End.
It's also when Eel's End gets moderately busy, so we can sort of meld into the crowd.
Yeah, I didn't move any people around, so you're not on this map, are you? No. Okay. Eel's End. Let me put you there. Let me. Oh, you are on the map, but
Way to the north.
Yeah, you're probably up here.
Majenko's somewhere. I keep forgetting him. I brought him up.
Oh, I didn't copy him
know,
onto this
he's
map.
with
So
us.
there you go.
There. Oh, there he is in the water.
You can fly.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's fine.
I left him at the library.
Okay. All right. You arrive as the sun is beginning to set. You're at the long dock leading to Eel's End. There's more people here than I'm not bothering showing all the random NPCs, but
Decent crowds.
yeah, a moderately sized crowd.
We could probably is it possible to like grab a snack and just sit in one of the points in the pier in the public? There's some benches up here.
They don't have much in the way of snacks. Oh, you can grab a snack from the inn if you wanted.
Yeah. I remember their food was not poisonous. That was the positive that I remembered.
It is
Yes,
good.
it wasn't too bad.
Do we have any
Kind
idea
of
where we're gonna
bland.
be meeting him?
I'm sorry?
What was that?
Do we know we're going to be meeting Blackjack?
Eel's End.
Got his weird letter. I'm sure he'll see us. Does he know what we look like? He doesn't. Maybe he does. Maybe he's really observant.
We could go try hiding out in the smoking area and see if the...
Oh, he knows what she
Clouds of
looks like.
smoke.
Well, has the thing. The smoking area? The hookah bar?
Yeah, all
Or
the
the
clouds
drug
of smoke
bar?
would make it hard to see people. It'd be too hazy.
You want to go to drug town? Okay.
I'm just suggesting as a place if we want to go and talk that we can use that as a shield to keep prying eyes from being able to see us clearly.
My God.
Hey.
Man, that's in the smoke.
One of
It would
the
be-
Eel's End enforcers comes walking over towards you, Regan.
Ah, why? Hi. What's up?
Hey, are you Regan?
Yes.
Your friend said that he was going to meet you over in the inn.
Oh, I have a friend. Excellent news. Let's go to the inn. I'll go to the
Okay.
inn. Thank you. Wait, where in the inn? Just in the inn? Like under the
Does he
deck?
just step on top of him?
Yeah. I climb onto him. Take me
He
there,
backs
young
away.
man.
What? Tell...
He didn't say. I'm not sure.
All right, I'll find him.
I just tell you what I'm paid the coin for.
Oh, he paid you. How nice. Right, it just goes to the inn.
Right.
I'm not gonna pay him.
As you make your way over towards the inn, you see Tuggins there, the little gnome. I don't remember if you ever got his name, but
we
It's somewhere
did.
on this list.
I think we did.
Yeah, you did.
okay.
Safe,
He's
not
playing
sorry.
his little fiddle. It's you again. What can I do for you?
Oh, I'm just here to meet my friend. So they were waiting for me in the inn.
Hmm.
Is this the inn?
The
the fellow in the black.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Oh, yes. He said he was was going to beat someone here.
Oh, sorry. Trinia's following you. Just can't move all of you and talk at the same time.
Yes, he's inside, room 3. Just down there, around the corner to the left.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
No
And
problem.
She'll proceed to room 3 with her companions, hopefully following. She'll be like,
I'll
room
let everybody
3.
else go first and take the rear.
I'm gonna just use this top of the ship here, because I don't have, like, an
That's
underbelly.
Oh, fair.
Okay, you make your way down the stairs into the dark underbelly of the ship. It's kind of cramped down here, but it seems like one of the large rooms there is marked with a number 3.
Knock, knock, knock. Knock.
Who's there?
Regan. Since
Ah.
he knows my name.
I was expecting you. The door handle creaks and twists open. And a figure clad all in black steps out of the shadows. Where is he?
Does he not have any lights on in his room?
There's a candle in the room that's lit.
Ah.
Just enough for dramatic lighting, right?
Yeah,
This is-
just enough for dramatic
This
lighting.
reminds me a lot of Mayhem. I think they'll get along. I brought friends. I think
Ah.
that was okay.
Good. I'm glad you brought her. Please come in.
Also, how do you
can-
know my name? We've never talked.
We haven't, but I have contacts, friends.
That's good. That makes me feel very safe. Yeah, I'll
Don't
go in.
worry, I've not divulged your information to anyone. I apologize I
Please
had to learn about you in this roundabout way, but
Don't share your
circumstances called.
password with anybody. Don't share your email or your PIN.
He makes his way over to the lone candle that he's got on a candelabra and then takes it to a table, lights some candles at a round table, and beckons you to sit there.
Let me sit.
And he'll kind of stand at the edge of the room.
Mayhem's going to stand at the opposite edge of the room and cross arms.
I like this. There's a lot of
Are you
balance
doing that
here.
thing where it's like they're because you're twins, you hate each other?
Not hate, actually, but just going to be a bit standoffish at the moment.
Look back and forth between them. Well, this is fun. This is nice and comfortable for everyone.
So,
I made quite a ruckus yesterday.
I rather wish I didn't need to, but when innocents are in danger, I suppose I can't help myself.
How did you know that someone was going to be executed?
It was very last minute. I have some connections within the guard. Some people I know in the castle. They said something strange was going on, that Trinia was going to be executed. Through other connections, I already knew that Trinia was safe, so it seemed prudent that I be there myself,
just in case. And I'm glad I was.
Do you know Trinia from somewhere, and that's why you cared, or did you care for a different reason?
I can't say I know her, no, he says, looking at Trinia.
That's just right here.
Trinia kind of squirms a bit. But I do know that the Queen does not act with Corvosa's best interests at heart, and I thought it might be particularly important to put an exclamation point on that, so that the people don't give into complacency, I guess.
If the Queen is not acting with Corvosa's best interest at heart, who is she listening to?
That I am not sure. She meets with a variety of advisors in the night. People from foreign lands I'm not familiar with. Strangers to the castle I've never seen before. But I admit I had been in a long retirement before this. My intel is not as fresh as it could be. Or, sorry, not fresh isn't the right word. Is not as detailed as it could be.
So, Blackjack, do you know of some place that we can keep Trinia safe? We've got her pulled away right now, but I don't think that's a great place to keep her forever.
Indeed, that's why I had you bring her. There on the table, he gestures, points. There's a folded piece of paper on the table. An address of friends. I've left the other girl, Amelia, there. She's in good hands, but I would like you to take her as well. Get the two of them out of town as quickly as possible. The man at the address should have some contacts that he can refer you to. But I don't think it's smart to leave either of them in the city for any longer. Just one slip-up and I can't imagine the Queen would allow a second escape.
No, I should think not.
Yeah, out of the city seems like a good idea.
Do you have a place in mind outside of the city, or just leave?
I'll pick up the piece of paper. Like, what address does it describe?
It lists Orsini Academy in Old Corvosa.
That explains it. Okay.
And it gives the street name, but I forget what the street name is off the top of my head.
I was wondering who the connection for the knowing about Trinia was, but this explains it.
Ah,
It's good to have
of
Carlos
course.
properly on our side.
He's an old friend. We go back some ways together. He will have a good idea of where to take the two of them. I would do it myself, but I imagine you might be better suited.
Trying to keep in low profile for a minute might be a good idea, or if you're trying to keep the Queen's attention on you, you could raise ruckus while we skip town.
That is the intention. Though I don't know how long He shakes his head. It doesn't matter. Yes, once I've gotten word that you're out of the town gates, I'll see what I can do about keeping the guards' attention on me, and then after that, my intention is to disappear for some time. Lay low.
Seems wise. You were saying?
Well, I was just impressed that you would all be willing to do this sort of thing for people you barely know.
I
We
mean,
were all
you were
Corvosan
willing
here.
to save a random girl that you don't know.
Indeed, but not every Corvosan thinks that way. It was a positive observation.
It's what keeps this city working, is that at least some of us are dedicated towards doing good to one another. And you definitely showed that by intervening in that execution.
One step at a time. If only I could figure out why the Queen is doing what she's doing. Who or what is convincing her to do otherwise. She's young, but her actions don't speak to just foolishness.
And there have been plenty of foreign advisors that have been doing weird things. We ourselves ran into a ambassador who seems to be buying up properties and seemingly creating shortages, just to cause unrest around the city.
Oh. Who might you speak of?
I am trying to control F their name.
Wasn't Gaspare, was it? Different name. Sorry, I'm just
No,
digging back.
not Gaspare.
I didn't think so. It's like, where's that name? No.
Derivan? Ampre.
Yes, Ampre.
Ampre, thank you. Yes, Ambassador Ampre. Amongst
the Corvosan ambassador, or the Chilaxian ambassador to Corvosa. He's a leech if I ever saw one. It makes sense that he'd be doing such a thing.
This definitely has all the hints of a power play. In his moment of weakness, Corvosis being exploited by Chiliacs and other powers that be.
Indeed, I imagine the noble houses also have their hands in several pies. Arcona has been currying favor with the locals, but I can't imagine his sudden change in values merits a real sudden change in heart. But I suppose that's yet to be seen. In any case, I suppose I should be going. And you should too.
We'll help
Hopefully
see
you-
Trinia out of the city into safety.
Wait, do you know anything about the missing advisor while we're here? 'Cause we
Yes.
are looking for him.
Oh,
Neolandis.
Landis.
Neolandis.
Yeah.
I've been searching for him myself, but no avail. He was last seen on the day of the initial riots. Word is that someone looking like him was spotted in Old Corvosa, but I've been following that lead for some time now and haven't turned anything up. I'll let you know if I find anything.
Yes.
think it's
please do.
If Neolandis was around, I'm sure that the Queen would be in better advisory company, at least.
Yes. It's very suspicious how he went missing and now she's acting all funny.
Blackjack nods. It does speak to foul play. But yes, I suppose I should get going unless you have any other questions for me.
No, for now we'll go to meet with Carlo and get these people out of town.
How do we contact you again if we need you? Or is this a you contact us thing?
He considers for a moment. It is probably a me contacting you sort of thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. I get it.
We'll try to have a more discreet door installed in the script and scrimshaw soon.
Yes.
Well, you probably won't be hearing from me for some time, unless I learn anything about Neolandis. Anyway, farewell and good luck. And he will briskly depart from the room.
It's very serious. Like you, Mayhem.
Well, these are
He
serious times.
pops his head back in,
Oh.
and
Jesus.
Oh, I just wanted to say, keep up the good work. And
Ah,
he
thanks.
disappears again.
Serious times indeed.
Ooh, got a thumbs up from Blackjack.
Yeah, Mayhem may be feeling a little taller as he's waiting a couple minutes, but then gonna follow Blackjack out and just make sure that there's nobody around as we start to make our way out of Eel's End, I think.
yep, the halls there are empty as you exit.
All done with your business?
Tuggin says as you walk past him.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much for providing such excellent rooms.
You're welcome. Now I can get some actual business in. Hey, the rooms are available now.
He says as he walks over to a group of people who are assembled off in the corner.
You like bought all the rooms.
I don't want to ask him a question, but I just kind of want to observe their. Is this all this normal? Is like this is just Tuesday for them?
Oh wait, who for Tuggins or
Tuggins, yeah.
It's a little bit out of the usual, but you get the sense that Blackjack must have paid him to like block out all the rooms and keep anybody from going in.
Yeah. It's Eel's End. Like it's
Yeah,
why-
he's not a stranger to strange requests. Like, this is a strange place. All right.
You say it is.
And if the four of you are just leaving, I can,
Yeah, I think we're just heading out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just going to go to.
Or
Unless, are we good to go straight to the Academy, Orsini?
I don't see a reason to
yeah,
dally.
we can do it
The temple.
if it's open. Well,
forget where
who
it
cares
is.
if it's open? I guess.
Someplace.
I dare say it
don't
would
know
be
if
open
it's
for us.
Been
It may
shown
not be
to
on the-
you, but Orsini Academy is here.
Oh my
there we go.
goodness, all the way over there.
It's a nice big yard to work in too.
Yeah,
It's
it's
good
like
training purposes.
Aw, yeah.
Is it? Was it? Remind me. Was this just sword fighting, or was it like a full adventuring academy?
Oh wait, sorry, that might not be it. One sec. That might be the that might be the actual. That's Endron Academy. That's the. Sorry, it's like
misread.
right beside it. It's over here.
Oh, okay.
I misread the directions.
That's a
my
nice
bad.
house, though. Still. With the
Yeah,
nice-
it looks like it's a nice house. It's right next to the Endron Academy, which is like an actual proper like military academy, where they train the commandos, the
Woo.
Sable Company. So as you approach, you might see a few hippogriffs flying down in the night, or some people doing some late night training there at the yard. Yeah, sorry, I could have dragged you if I wasn't on pencil tool.
A nice drawing.
I also can't. There we go.
I think this is our first time wandering into Old Corvosa.
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't really walked around inside of it that much. You've been at Old Corvosa, but not in the interior. Okay. So yeah, you make your way over to Orsini Academy. Let's see. Yeah, it's at 16 Hillcrest Street, near the center of Old Corvosa. You have to go through. So this big hill here is the remnants of the old Fort Corvosa. When Corvosan, the original Corvosan settled here, they created a big wooden fortress at the top of this island. And that was kind of the initial settlement before it all burned down. So the outer walls here are like old wooden walls that have been, I think, burned down like twice. And they're really just here for decoration at this point. But nobody's bothered repairing them. So there's some bits, framework of old towers, framework of old walls, but it's mostly just aesthetic. And this is the technically nicer part of Old Corvosa that you're in. The rest of it to the south is very deep slums, very heavily populated. This part of Corvosa is a bit nicer. It's where the actual nobility lives. A lot of the Arcona family, extended family, and their relations live in this area. And you just passed the Endron Academy. I forget what this building is here. This large building off to the left is... it's something interesting, but it doesn't matter right now, so... okay. So yeah, you make your way up to what appears to be a rather nice property. Some steps leading up to a rather large house on a hill. With a seemingly large yard behind it. And the sign post at the street level reads Orsini Academy. But there's a sign on the front that reads lessons canceled for today. It's like hanging on the entry sign.
That follows. probably should knock. That seems the appropriate thing, though it is dark out.
Yeah, it's getting dark at this point. It's close to 8.
We'll go up and knock, see if Vencarlo is actually at home.
All right. You knock at the door.
Expected.
And eventually, you notice that the doors, like the windows, are all currently shuttered or curtained. Everything is closed. But you do hear a sound as a figure comes up to the door and I'm sorry, lessons are cancelled for today. Sorry, that's not his accent. I have to get back to his accent more than a month ago. I'm sorry, lessons are cancelled for today.
We're not here for a lesson.
Ah, Felix, is that you?
Yes, my friend. Nice to see you again.
The door unlocks and cracks open. Ah. Yes. I assume you've come on our mutual friend's suggestion?
Indeed. And today is a day of making friends. Can we come inside?
Of course. I already have one guest today. Why don't I have more?
Has anybody been watching us as we've come in here?
At the street, you look around. Give me a perception check.
Yeah. Question marks. Whoosh. Didn't hear whoosh, but...
There was one person who was watching you. It was like walking the opposite direction down the street, sort of like this way. They had stopped to look at your group as you were walking over to the academy, especially after you like looked at the entry sign and then still walked up to the door. They're watching you for a bit and then walked away. They didn't seem like they were that interested. They were more just interested in the size of the party.
Sure, just curiosity, not true interest.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Well,
other than that, you
what's
didn't notice anyone.
Yeah, once everyone's inside, I'll follow in and shut the door behind me. Get us all in safe and secure, hopefully.
And Vencarlo will lead you to a back room where the second Trinia is seated at a table. Do not worry, my dear. Amelia, this is... well, these are some of my friends. And this is the woman whose looks you are somewhat similar with. Oh. She doesn't look like much. Trinia, dear, if you would take down the hood. And Trinia pulls down the hood of inconspicuousness, and her features return to normal. And yeah, the two of them look kinda similar at a distance.
The effect is magnified if you put them in the same clothes and then like keep everyone 60 feet away.
Yes, it certainly works if you do not know what she looks like, but... well, it's certainly been 2 days, has it not?
Indeed. And it sounds like our lives may be interesting for a few days yet, as we need to get both of them to a safer place.
So my troublemaker friend has told me after he drop this one on my doorstep.
I'm glad to see he gives everyone about his equal notice. But yes,
Yes,
we were hoping
this-
you would be able to help us get somewhere safe out of town.
Of course, for two beautiful ladies, I obviously do not mind. It is the so-called hero that I am sometimes minding. But yes, ladies, these three will you'll be in good hands with them, I think.
Do you have any
the-
ideas on where we can keep them, take them?
Yes, actually. If you do not mind, it will be a bit of a trek, but I have some friends.
He goes over to his cabinet, like starts rifling through some maps.
I think, well, the city is still, I think, fairly on guard.
But if you were to take a slow walk through the city, down to the south, to the High Bridge. That is the High Bridge, yes, the High Bridge. If you take the High Bridge all the way to the south, and then wrap around, exit the East Shore District to the south, and then wrap around all the way to the north of the city.
From there, I believe,
If you take the Dwarfwalk Road, you can join with the afternoon merchants who pass through the area, and make your way up north. Ultimately, I would like to get the two of them up to Hars. I have a friend there who is more than willing to take them in. Hars, Harse. But you do not need to go that far. I have a... there is a man, his name is Jason Adriel, Adriel, and his first name is Jason, Jasan. Jason Adriel, he runs, or he does not run, he owns the ranch in Hars, but he is currently staying in this place called Trots. It is an inn about 12 miles north of here. If you are
Trots?
quick, yes, Trots, like the horse.
Like the horse.
Yes. So if you are able to get out with the merchants, make your way up north. As long as you're able to get to Trots, you should be able to leave the girls with him, and they should be able to get to Hars on their own. Is that okay with you? I think it is probably the best bet. I don't think the Queen is expecting to need to search very far outside the city. As far as I have heard, the guard has only been active, really, here.
Seems like a plan. Such a circuitous route will take the better part of a day, but it will definitely ensure that no one quite knows where we're heading.
It seems very exposed to be out that long, even if it is the purpose of trying to throw people off our trail. But otherwise, the plan is sound.
We're not without our own tricks. Felix also purchased a second clandestine cloak, so imprecise
Nondescript
features.
features.
Nondescript features.
Well, that will definitely make this less stressful. I think that seems solid as any other plan that we could come up with, so. Are they fine to stay with you tonight, or should we find a place to harbor them?
I do not mind holding them overnight. That is fine. I should have space. And I do not intend to teach classes tomorrow anyway, so that should be okay. If you wish to come get them tomorrow afternoon, or perhaps midday, so that you will have enough time to get them out, or mingle with the mid-afternoon merchants. But any more than one day, and I don't know how long I can keep prying eyes away from this place.
Understandable. If you don't mind my asking, then Carlo, how did you come to be a friend of Blackjack's? In such a intimate manner enough that he trusts you with this?
A friend is putting it a bit lightly. This so-called People's Hero and I have had some number of dealings in the past. They are more, how do you say, it is a bit of a one-way relationship that he and I have. I've not really seen him in some years, and this is how he repays me. It's very nice of him. He was very quick with his words as per usual. Swoops off, doubtlessly in search of some other festering wrong that he must always deal with. But I largely think that he and I share a sense of politics, I guess. We became friends long ago, some 20, 30 years ago, perhaps. It is not common to find someone who you feel trusting important matters to, but I'm glad that he is able to find trust in someone. It seems you have won his trust in this same way.
I hope so. We'll work to earn it. What do you think, Regan? You able to take a couple days off of classes?
Oh, what? I was very engrossed in that story. What? Take
Yeah,
days off
we're-
class? Yeah, I can.
traveling.
What is
So
it? It's Tuesday tomorrow. Today's Tuesday, Wednesday. I just have to be back by Friday. I think I could take off some time for the good of the city.
Yeah, there's no chance we'll get sidetracked and end up out in the hinterlands for a
No.
while.
I'll get real mad if we do. To send word to extend
out.
my test. Yeah, no.
Oh,
I'll
I
take-
forgot. Our black-clad friend also left this, if you were to accept. And he makes his way over to a drawer, opens it, and pulls out a little jingly black coin pouch, and tosses it over to Mayhem.
I hold it for a moment, then toss it to Felix.
It's on theme. I mean, I'll look inside to see how much it is, but I think it has more value for the object it is.
There are 50 platinum coins.
Woo!
Platinum crowns? Is that the right one?
Crowns,
He's
yeah.
so loaded.
Dang.
No wonder he could buy out the whole inn for an hour.
He said that this should be appropriate to escort the two ladies home and cover any funds that you need to procure horses or any other such things.
Horses.
And as a thank you for doing the right thing, he said. As he always says.
It'll definitely help cover expenses, and I think I can hopefully ask Lizzie and Shields from Flame to look after the script and scrimshop for a few days to take my own adventure.
A nice stroll.
Chance to stretch our legs.
Nothing will go wrong.
Absolutely not.
It will be easy.
Well, I'll miss Corvosa, but I guess there's not much I can do right now.
I'm sure in time we'll be able to bring you back. For now, we need to make sure you're not in the Queen's sightlines while she seems to be dealing with whatever fear is driving her.
Trinia nods.
Be able to come back for sure. We wouldn't want to keep you away forever.
Amelia is just quiet and I spelled her name wrong, but and she's just kind of nodding at this. Don't be so timid, girl. You should speak up for yourself. And I'm sorry for the way that our black-clad friend treated you bringing you here. But trust me, these three, they will have you in good hands. You will be out of the city in no problem, and with the money that you have, you should be taken care of, I think. Oh, and this one's for you as well, Miss Trinia. And he hands her a similar little pouch of money. This should cover both of your expenses, should let you live a comfortable life for at least a couple of months. And
do you need anything, Vencarlo, while we're here? Can we do anything?
me, I've just no more suspicion on my place, please. I do have lessons to teach, after all.
Fair enough.
We'll do our best
No.
not to darken your doorstep for at least a solid week.
We won't bring our trash.
That would be appreciated. But I do not mind seeing your smiles. So, feel free to visit, just, maybe with a few less, wanted criminals.
That will be hard to guarantee, but we'll try.
I've obviously had worse, so... It is what it is. Even Carlo will always roll with punches, as they say.
With panache. Well, I think we will be back tomorrow morning then to do a proper escort, though. Looking at the other two, Mayhem will very clearly stay. I think I'm going to send Tully to do the escort, and I'll stay in town and see what I can do to help Blackjack out.
That sounds like a good idea.
Oh, the guard fellow.
It's very professional.
You may
Yeah,
not want to
sort
go in guard uniform, but can lend an air of authority that might help keep prying eyes away.
That one has a quiet intensity about him. What do the three of you think of him?
What do you think of him, Mayhem? What do you
He
think
takes
of
his work
Tully?
ethic a little too far.
There is this like turn of all the heads. He's just like staring at Carlo. He's kind of an ass, but he's got a good heart.
Ooh. I think he's very serious. He's too into his job. Oh, Siri is trying to talk to me. Stop it. He's pretty into his job. I think he needs to chill out a little bit. But otherwise, great guy. Very helpful.
Indeed. And he always comes through. Especially for the people he cares about.
Though he did apparently kick it the other day, so.
Oh my god, yes, he did.
Oh,
I mean,
I had not heard that
brought
one.
him back. They
Oh,
brought
he
him
came
back.
back. Yeah, we brought him
Ah.
back. It was fine.
That's good to hear. You had me worried there for a moment.
It was a very
Hello.
temporary
Got
situation.
bit
Well-
by a few ghouls, but
Just a little
not
bit.
ghouls.
Your
Those would be
evaluations match much with my own. I thought maybe he was perhaps a bit foolishly loyal to the queen, but yes, I can see that he has a good heart. I hope that his work with the guard does not blind him to whatever it is the queen is doing.
He has a very professional face.
Yeah, that can be good for that kind of work.
He's a bit
but-
big-headed, but I don't think he's blind. So, we'll see what
That is
happens, but I don't think the queen is a concern.
Good. Well, sorry, I did not mean to talk about your friend behind his back. I was just curious.
Oh, I'd say it to his face.
Oh, well then, feel free.
We'll have to do that when I see him later.
Anyway, I should probably get dinner ready for the girls. And yes, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh, Felix, would you mind getting my things together? At least the couple. You don't have to bring all the paints, but she starts rattling off the list of things that she left behind at the inn that she'd like you to bring.
Of course, I'll dutifully take notes. And I'll also ask Amelia if any business she needs help wrapping up before she leaves the city.
Oh no, sir. I'm an orphan. I don't really have much.
Well, then hopefully this adventure will be something to look forward to.
She just kind of sheepishly nods.
So, before we go, actually, Vencarlo, travel gear, should we be picking that up for them as well? I know you've given them it sounds like they have some funds, but I want to make sure that they're well equipped for the road and everything.
If there's anything you think that they might need, of course you may wish to get it for them.
We'll
But
pick up some supplies in the morning then before we leave.
Yes, they don't have much in the way of their own equipment, I don't think.
All right.
Yeah, if there's anything specific you want them to have on them, feel free to.
I'll take a look and see if there's anything
Fine.
that jumps out at me, but it occurred to me just in case we might need weather clothes or something.
All right. Well, with that, Carlo sees you out the front door and bids you return tomorrow. And I think with that, unless anybody's got anything else,
Nope.
That is the end of the evening. Thank you for playing. If you liked this episode, why don't you go ahead and give us a follow on our follow. I don't use social media. Go on YouTube and subscribe. Subscribe? You subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah.
Follow on Twitch. Follow us on the
Hit that
podcast
bell.
platforms. Hit the bell. Break the
Join
bell. Destroy the
Discord.
bell. I fucking hate bells. Kill all bells.
Oh
Murder
my
bells.
I think if we say
Um,
smash that like button, that the actual YouTube logo goes red.
Wait, isn't it already red?
Smash it.
I believe. No, it like glows or something. There's a
Oh.
rainbow effect if you
Oh,
say
it's
something.
Oh,
red.
about it.
really? What? Is that a thing?
I don't
Huh?
know how they trigger, but I've seen it on videos where they'll start talking
Smash
about
it.
subscribing and then it glows, like
Ooh.
to tell you. Yeah, it's a thing.
Glow
I don't know how they do it. if
Sma-
it's a setting,
smash
but-
smash that like button.
I want to see if it happens.
That subscribe button. Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're back to a somewhat regular schedule again now that I'm back from the UK. So we should be back next week, hopefully. And yeah, tune in for more harrowing tales await you. Good night, everybody.
be harrowing for us because remember the last time we were on a horse.